Hi, and welcome back to This Homestead Life. I'm Jenny, and today I'm going to let you take a look at the homeschool curriculum that we chose for our son, who is in the 5th grade this year. Is that your Lily chicken, Em?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For butterfly, basically, like Jack promising the Great Wolf a butterfly, right?
Yeah,
He promised him that he wouldn't collect or he wouldn't try to collect it anymore.
Right, okay. So chapter 3, a quite unintentional insult. I'm glad you've promised Jack, messages. And the wonderful thing was that they all flashed as brightly as jewelry, and yet looked as soft as velvet. Okay, so today I thought it would be really helpful if I went over all of the curriculum that we picked out for our son who's in the 5th grade this year. I know that, when I was a new homeschooling mom, I could not get enough YouTube videos of people talking and going through their curriculum just so I could wrap my head around what homeschooling looked like, how to pick all the curriculum. It's just so overwhelming. So I hope that this video today will help to simplify at least the curriculum piece of it. I'm going to take you through everything that we chose and show you the layout, what he does on a weekly basis as far as every day, which subjects he does, because not every day looks the same like it would in school. So each day looks a little bit different for him. And I'm also going to go over which subjects we do as a family and which ones he is on his own for individual studies. So if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for being here and for watching. All right, now on to the curriculum. So our subjects of Bible, history, and geography will be studied together as a family. So this is the lesson plan guide from Simply Charlotte Mason that will guide us through the year on exactly what to do for Bible, history, and geography. The entire year we will be studying Genesis through Exodus in the Bible, and then also studying ancient Egypt and the continent of Africa for history and geography. Every Thursday we will be studying geography, which is the continent of Africa this year. So each of my children has this Visits to Africa mapping guide, and this is a book that is going to walk them through learning all of the different countries of Africa and how to map them correctly. So they'll have to memorize where all of the countries go. By the end of the year, they should know all of the countries in Africa, where they're located, various facts about the culture, climate, history, and so forth. Also, I don't think I mentioned it, but this mapping guide came from Simply Charlotte Mason. These two books go along with our history curriculum. The first one is a look at the global family. It's filled with beautiful pictures and lots of detailed information about culture and family life based on country. So we will be using this book a lot this year to study the culture and civilization of Africa. Also, the next book is a look at what the world eats. So this book is a closer look at just all the different types of cuisines and traditional foods that people eat all around the world based on where they live and their culture and climate, what grows well there. So I feel like this book is going to be a great resource for us. Here are a couple of other books that will go along with our history. The first is Ancient Egypt and Her Neighbors. I will be doing this one as a read aloud to my 5th grade son and my 3rd grade son. My 7th grade daughter has another book that she will be reading independently. I also got this book called Pyramid by David McCulley. It came highly recommended for studying ancient Egypt. And then he will be at some point reading this book on his own, The Golden Goblet. For all of our enrichment studies this year, I am going to include a link in the description of this video for my morning basket video where I go through all of the enrichment subjects that we're going to be doing this year. So if you're interested in that, you can check out that link in the description. For our family read aloud, I like to do that at night before the kids go to bed. We are reading Gary Paulson's The Hatchet, and when we finish this book, we're going to move on to the second book in the series, which is The River. Okay, moving on to individual studies. So these are all the subjects that my son will be doing on his own. And this is the lesson plan guide from Simply Charlotte Mason that will tell him every day what he needs to accomplish. Here's a look at the weekly schedule for term 1. There are 3 terms in the year, so each term will switch it up a little bit. So every Monday he has math and typing. So for his math, we decided to go with Abeka. Now we decided to go with Abeka for all of our kids for math this year. We are actually transitioning from a private Christian school that we went to for 2 years during COVID. I actually taught 2nd grade there, and their curriculum there was Abeka, and our kids really enjoyed the Abeka math, so we decided to stick with Abeka. Along with the workbook that he will be using for daily lessons is the speed drill, quizzes, and test guide. So this will include all of his quizzes and tests and speed drills for grades. So we have decided we will grade our kids in math. Our kids actually enjoy grades, and they are excited to be receiving grades for their math and homeschool. For typing lessons, we decided to go with The Good and the Beautiful and their Typing 1 Introduction to Typing book. We actually used this in our last homeschool. Before we started going to the private Christian school, we used this book, and my kids really enjoyed it. So they have forgotten a lot of the skills, though. They didn't take typing at our private school, so it's kind of a reintroduction. So I like this curriculum. There is also a typing 2, so once he is done with all of these lessons, he can move on to the typing 2 book. And yeah, I just feel like this is a very simple introduction to typing. Also, now this is something that I kind of added into his curriculum myself. This is a book on social skills. This is an area that my husband and I just really feel like we wanted to include in his curriculum this year. So this book is really great. I've looked through the entire thing. He's already done several lessons, and I think he's going to learn a lot. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'll take math, science, and spelling and language. So I already talked about math. Now for science, we are doing Jack's Insects this year. We're doing the book and the workbook, and this is from Simply Charlotte Mason. Now this is the book that in the beginning of the video you saw us sitting on the couch. I was reading his lesson from Jack's Insects today. and we've just found that it's best for me to read the lesson to him, and then he does the workbook portion. So far we're liking it. The reading is a lot, and I think that he really likes it when I read to him. Some of the words are a little bit difficult as well. I think this book is fairly old. It was written over 100 years ago. Charlotte Mason used it in her science curriculum, so I find that he understands it a lot better if I read it to him. For language and spelling, we are also going with Simply Charlotte Mason. So these two books go together. So he starts out with his language book, and this will walk him through what he needs to do in his spelling book for the lesson as well. So I feel like these lessons are pretty short and concise. It's not too much busy work at all. I also like that the spelling portion is, instead of them memorizing a list of spelling words, it's more of a quote, and they have to really study the quote and memorize all of those words. And then you dictate that passage to them, and they have to write and spell that passage perfectly to move on with the next exercise. So I really like this form of spelling. Also, I feel like this is a good exercise in handwriting. You can see that it starts out very light, but then by exercise 77 here, it's a lot. So I think this is really good. I'm really excited about this. Every Wednesday he has math and typing again, and then Thursday is a repeat of Tuesday. So I also have this handwriting level 5 book from The Good and the Beautiful. This is a leftover curriculum piece from my daughter when we were doing homeschool before COVID. So this book is only halfway filled out, so I am going to also use this for my son to work on his handwriting skills. I feel like it's something we need to work on. I want all of my kids to have nice handwriting, and it's just something I feel like needs to be included every so often. So I'll build this in probably once or twice a week, one of these pages for him. Okay, so that's pretty much everything for his curriculum. So Fridays he does math, spelling, and language, and then together as a family we do nature study. Anyways, thank you so much for watching again. I hope that this video was helpful for you, and if you enjoy content like this, I would really appreciate your support. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.